Hello, this is Riding with Ree with me and Woody. One video that's been requested a fair bit lately is showing you how I plan Woody's schedule and what I'm working on with him. So for this video, we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to show you an entire week of what I do with Woody and how I plan it. So it's Monday right now. Woody's been out in the field all day because it's his day off. I'm just about to give him a groom. It's about 5 p.m. But for now, I'm going to jump back with you to Sunday and show you how I plan my week ahead. And then we'll go from there and I'll show you every day of the week. So let's head back to Sunday. Stay tuned. So it's Sunday afternoon. I've planned my week ahead with Woody. I'm going to take you through what I planned and why, and then we'll go into showing you how each of those days actually played out. So this is my equestrian planner. You might already know I designed these myself and I sell them on Etsy. So if you do want to check them out, the link will be in the description. But let's get straight over to this week. So this is what my weekly plan looks like, and I'm hoping you can see there if I zoom in, and I'll also give you some close-ups with my camera. So the way that I plan my week is, firstly, I start with any prior engagements that I know I have. So that could be anything from knowing that I already have a lesson booked in, maybe I have a competition, or maybe I've organised with a friend that we're going to hack out. So in this case, on Thursday, I know that Hannah is going to be riding Woody. Hannah is my coach. And on Thursday, we're going to be trying out a bunch of different bits on Woody to see what he likes best. So Hannah will be riding Woody, and that's already in my schedule. So I've put that straight into Thursday. I also know that I have my lesson with Hannah on a Saturday, so I've thrown that in my calendar as well. So those are the two prior engagements that I had. Put those in your calendar first. The next thing I do is to look at my busiest day in my work schedule. So in this case, my work schedule is pretty flat, but normally what I would do is on my busiest day, I would give Woody a day off, because then he gets to have the whole day out in the field and I don't feel the pressure to have to run, ride, and then come back. And if I find the time, I can go up and groom him. But of course, Woody's on full livery, so I know that he's completely taken care of and no matter what happens. In this case, I've given Woody his day off on Monday because he had a day off on Monday last week, and obviously then he's been schooled and worked for 6 days in a row, and he's worked quite hard, so I've given him the day off on Monday. And of course, if I felt like he needed more days off in a week, I would throw those in. There's no sort of hard and fast rule how many days off your horse should have. I always give them at least one, but if I felt like they needed more, I would do that. Now with the remaining days, I do it with a sort of set of rules that I've created for myself. The first rule is I try not to lunge or long line more than once a week. I try not to do the same schooling session twice in a row, or school at all really, if I can help it, more than once a week. More than one day in a row. So I wouldn't jump 2 days in a row. I try not to do flat work 2 days in a row. I try not to go in the school at all 2 days in a row, to be honest. So I chop that up with schooling and hacking. The other thing to keep in mind, and this will be if you have the equestrian planner on the other side here, is your goal for the week and what your long-term goal is with your horse. So for me, with Woody, it's building up his strength and his top line. And the way that we're going to do that is to make him work correctly. But if I did that all in the school, he's going to get bored really quickly. He's going to be really difficult for him, and he's probably going to start resenting that. So what we've tried to do is give him more hacking than we do schooling sessions, to make it a fun way to get his fitness up without it being so boring for him. In this case, we have 3 schooling sessions in a week, 3 hacking sessions, and a day off. Typically, one of those schooling sessions would be a lunging session, but because we have Hannah jumping on Woody to try out bits, that has replaced this week's lunging session. So what we've ended up with is Woody's day off is on Monday. On Tuesday, I will school him and replicate last week's lesson and put that into practice. On Wednesday, we'll hack out. I'm going to be hacking out with a friend on that day and having a really chilled, easy hack. On Thursday, Hannah will be riding Woody in the school and trying out bits. On Friday, I'm going to hack out alone. I always try to do at least one hack out a week alone. I think it's really good practice and it's just nice for me. I quite like riding by myself. On Saturday, we have our lesson, so that will be planned by Hannah. And then on Sunday, we're going for a long hack that's going to be a little bit faster with a friend of ours. So that is the week ahead. All right, let's jump forward to Monday and see what Woody's doing on his day off. So it is Monday, it's Woody's day off today, so he's been out in the field all day. It's about 5 o'clock now, so I've just popped down. I'm going to give him a groom and then we'll be back tomorrow for the rest of the week. So as I said, even though it's Woody's day off, I do love to come down and give him a little groom. It's so quiet here in the evenings and it's just a lovely way to spend time with him. It also, practically speaking, saves me time in the morning because I always do a full groom before I ride, and obviously if I can get a lot of the mud off tonight, then when I'm riding first thing tomorrow it makes things a little bit easier, and it's just a really nice way to bond with each other, especially since we don't know each other super well yet. So behind me is the yard whiteboard, and just to give you a perspective, Woody's stable is right there and he's just in the corner eating his dinner. So depending on what we decided we're going to do for the week in the planner that I did on Sunday, which I just showed you, I will now mark up on the whiteboard whether I want Woody left in or left out. Usually I have him in during the week, and that doesn't mean he doesn't go out that day. It just means that I will get here, ride, and then put him out myself. But it's really, really helpful, especially when they're on full livery, to put what you want them to do so that the team knows what they need to do with them. So I'm marking up on each day Woody in or Woody out, and then what I will do is once I've done the board, I will then get my phone out and transfer Woody in or Woody out to my digital calendar so that I know in my work schedule whether I'm seeing him in the morning or the evening, because believe it or not, I forget, and sometimes I'm like, have I said he should be in or out? So I transfer everything to my digital calendar as well, just so I have an extra copy. Good morning, it's Tuesday. It has just gone 7 AM. I'm just in my car waiting for it to warm up, and then I'll head up to the yard. This morning is a flat work day, so what the aim of my day today is to be replicating the session that we did on Saturday with my instructor. So doing lots of big 20-meter circles with Woody and asking him to flex a little bit to the inside in trot, and then if we nail that, in canter, and really thinking about my position, so making sure that my leg stays on the girth and doesn't slip back, making sure that I sit up tall. So that's what I'm going to have in my head during this session. And my coach also always encourages me to think about the scales of training, which I've spoken about on here before, and try and keep those in my head as I'm riding. So I'm going to try and do that as well. I don't have a ton of time this morning, so I'm just going to crack on and get things done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't schooled on my own in a little while because we've been doing lots of hacking and other things, so I'm really excited. All right, I forgot to film us tacking up because, you know, I said I was in a rush, but Woody and I have just finished our flatwork session. I'm super pleased with how it went. I'll throw in a few clips here so you can see how we got on. So now it's time to untack, get Woody out in the field, and then it's off to work. Good boy. Here is a clip from my lesson the Saturday before, and this is what I'm trying to replicate. If you look closely, you'll see that I'm wearing a bungee on my right shoulder and down to my left foot. And this was to really help me keep my leg on the girth in the right position and help me really pull myself down into the saddle for the sitting stride of the rising trot. So today I'm going to replicate that in my riding on a 20-meter circle, in trot and in canter, and not worrying too much about where his head is, but really just focusing on me and my position today. So let's get into it. So here we are replicating that in trot and canter, and as I said, I'm not worried about where his head is. I'm really just focusing on me and my position, and I was super happy with where he's getting to, and this will be where you can notice that armchair canter I talked about in other videos. So I was really happy with how we got on in this exercise, so I decided to finish the session. I would reward Woody with some pole work. So what we did was come trotting down over 4 poles that were made up in a clock face. So if you imagine 4 poles in the face where 9, 3, 6 and 12 would be on the clock. You trot over the first pole, you take a right turn, you turn a circle, you come down over the second pole, you take a right, you do a circle, you come down over the third pole, and so on and so forth until you've done all 4 poles, and then you change the rein and you do the same thing, but you turn left at the end of the poles. Now, the first time that I tried to do this on Woody, he just wanted to canter after the poles, and I really struggled with turning him onto the circle afterwards. We're currently looking to find the right bit, as I said, but it was really lovely to see him being so relaxed and just taking this all with such a kind of surfer dude attitude on this morning. So I walked away from this feeling super happy and positive about the day. All right, I'm all done. I am so pleased with how Woody went today. He's about to go out in the field. I'm about to head home, get changed, get into work mode, and that's Tuesday. Hi, Maxie. Good morning. How are you today? Look how beautiful it is. Are you so pretty? Are you a good boy? Oh, Maxie. Little Max. Beautiful. Good boy. So we've made it to Wednesday, which of course means I'm going hacking with Woody. I'm going on my own this morning. It's a beautiful day, so just giving Woody a little clean here. Ignore his knees, he has the worst poo stains. And as I said, I think in previous videos, I try not to wash his legs too often if I can help it. So I'm going to leave those on today and just sort of out of sight, out of mind. So whenever I ride out, and particularly when I ride out by myself, I check my girth before I get on and I check my girth again, make sure that my stirrups are comfortable, and then I check my GoPro and make sure that it's in the right place on my GoPro app, and then I pull up Equilab, which has a safety tracking feature, and I send it to my partner so he knows where I am when I'm riding. I think it's particularly important when you're riding alone. This is not an ad for them, I just think it's a really good piece of equipment, so there you go. So I'm taking Woody on the same route that we took with a friend a few days previously so that he can start to feel comfortable on his own in the new environment, and I was really pleased to see how he behaved next to the main road here, which has quite a lot of cars on it, so good boy Woods. I was also really pleased to see his confidence improve going past this green bridge on the left and the road markings. I'm going to show you the clip now and then I'm going to throw it back to the clip with the first time that he met these things with another horse. Good lad, well done. Yeah. Oh, are you really going to spook at the bridge? Walk on. Yep, go on.
I see all these different things.
Oh my goodness! He says I'm not a city boy. So yes, much improved and clearly feeling a lot more confident, so I was super pleased. And we even managed to fit a lovely little canter in. I should point out that this road is private, so there are no cars and no traffic. Just heading back from our hack. I mean, it is an absolutely beautiful day. What a morning. Being such a good boy, aren't you, Woods? Beautiful. Happy Wednesday. Good boy. Oh, good boy. So we've just got back and you can see that I'm going to get him over to where his head collar is, and then because he's not wearing a martingale or anything that connects to the saddle, I'm taking his bridle off first so that he's super comfortable in his head, and then I'm going to take off his high-vis exercise sheet and his saddle together. Once I've taken that off, because it is a little bit chilly today, I am going to leave his boots on for the minute, do a quick brush of his body where the saddle was, and then add his rug on afterwards. So then I just take his boots off and then pop Woody in his box, because the friend that he usually goes out with isn't quite ready yet. His rider's still riding, so I'll pop him in his box and then he'll go out straight away afterwards, and that is Wednesday. So it's Thursday, I've just left the yard. Today my coach rode Woody. I got a few clips, so I'll share them with you. We were originally going to be trying out for another bit, but she actually doesn't think the bit's the issue. So we had a funny moment in our last lesson where he kind of ran on after a fence and the steering got a bit wobbly, and we thought perhaps he needed a different bit, not a stronger bit actually, a softer one. But she actually thinks it's not the bitting, it's just a few things we need to work on in the schooling. We are going to get him a slightly smaller bridle and put the bit slightly higher in his mouth. But she said he was lovely. She really loved the way he went and stuff, which is nice. It's always nice to hear that from your coach, isn't it? That she really likes him. So I'm really pleased with that. The one thing that wasn't so great is the new overreach boots that I bought rubbed the back of his heels quite badly. And I remember someone said to me, oh, I use neoprene ones because they don't rub as much. And I was like, oh, I've always used rubber. I prefer them, they're easier to clean. And it's not like he's turning out in them, he's just working in them. But yeah, they've rubbed all on his heels. So we've clipped out the hair, washed it all out, put pseudo cream on it. And then he's going to stay in now so that the mud doesn't get in it for a day. But yeah, really not impressed. I spoke to my coach and she was like, I recommend just not working him in overreach boots again, just working him in the brushing boots. So yeah, apart from that, it was a great day. Lovely Woody's going to stay in, get some TLC for his poor little feet, but I'm really pleased with the outcome. So it seems like a snaffle bit works for us. We just need to work on stuff in the schooling, which is great. Love having stuff to work on, and don't know, I feel really good knowing that the coach thinks we've got the foundations there. My lovely coach Hannah. So yeah, have a lovely day.
And you know, when you ask someone what does Allegro look like,
Yeah.
you know, the first thing they say is, oh, he's round, he's on the bit. You know, often
Yeah.
that's the first thing people notice.
So you heard Hannah mention Allegro there, and the point she was making is that people focus really heavily on the outline of a horse, but not on the rest of the scales of training, and contact, which is essentially the outline, is actually last in the scales of training. So she basically said to me, don't worry so much about whether or not he's on the bit and he's on an outline. Focus on everything else first. Focus on getting him stronger. Focus on getting him straighter. And she also talked me through, you know, how not to use my hand when I'm asking for a downward transition, how not to get him to lean and fall in and out, and how to use my body in a more accurate way when I'm riding. I'm really pleased with how we went for her. I'm really pleased that that issue that we had the other day didn't pop up. And I think it's also really helpful for her to ride him so that she knows what I'm feeling when I'm on top of Woody. And let's be honest, it's really inspiring watching your coach ride. It was really cool to hear her talk about how she's using her body when she's asking him to go one way or the other, and how I can then start to implement that hopefully as we go forward. I'm very excited.
A lot of horses can't do this, you know, they've not been taught to do it. You've got a lovely stretch.
Oh, good boy. It is Friday, and in true Friday fashion, I've just got to the yard on the worst day of the whole week and thought my jacket was in the boot, and it's not, so I'm just cold. I'm gonna check on Woody and then maybe ride tonight instead. Why would you forget your jacket? I swear it was in the boot and I didn't even check, which is worse. And it's in my house and it's actually really cold today. So anyway, let's go see Woody. Woody! Hi! Hello! Hello, pretty creature. Are you a good boy? Good morning. Good morning. He's being so cute this morning. You want to go out? You were stuck in yesterday. Oh, you got something on your... There we go. Look at that little face. Look at him. So pretty. Look at you. You excited to go out to the field? Yeah? I'll see you later. Good boy. Well, that's it. I just got home. I'm gonna edit this video. It's Friday morning. You're gonna watch this Friday PM or perhaps afterwards. Obviously you didn't get the weekend part of this video, but I wanted to get it up on Friday, and this weekend I've got my lesson tomorrow, and then I'm going hopefully on a massive farm on Sunday with a friend to have a lovely hack. So I will save that footage and potentially share it with you next week. Let me know if you like this kind of video. I can do more of them. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you next week. Bye.